Who's actually going to get real value out of a portable spot welding machine? Is it worth the price for a weekend hobbyist, a small auto body shop, or should you walk away if you're just looking to dabble with a few plastic repairs? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's unpack the decision so you can avoid the common pitfall of buying a welder that either sits idle in the garage or, worse, doesn't handle the materials you need it for. When I first started looking at spot welders, the biggest hesitation I felt was the one-size-fits-all promise that pops up on every product page. The headline specs 700W, LCD screen, 10 interchangeable tips sound impressive, but the real question is how those numbers translate when you're actually trying to join a thin-walled plastic bumper or a piece of 2mm automotive sheet metal. I spent a couple of evenings watching YouTube builds, scrolling through forum threads on DIY car repairs, and reading the occasional Reddit Ask Me Anything about portable welders. The consensus was clear: buyers need a machine that can switch quickly between different tip sizes, stays cool enough for longer sessions, and offers enough power without being a permanent fixture on a workbench. The Ultra Spot welding machine tries to hit those notes. Its 700W output lands it in the sweet spot between a tiny hobbyist unit that fizzles on thicker metal and a full-scale industrial rig that drags a heavy transformer everywhere. In practice, that power level lets you fuse 1mm to about 2mm of mild steel in under a second, which is exactly the range most DIY autobody work and plastic fabric projects sit in. The LCD display does more than just flash numbers. It actually shows the current welding time in real time, so you can see at a glance whether you're lingering too long and risking burn-through on delicate panels. The 10 interchangeable tips are where the machine earns its versatile badge. I tried the 3mm and 5mm copper heads for welding a set of windshield trim brackets, and the transition between them was as simple as swapping a cartridge and hitting reset. For a hobbyist who occasionally needs to bond a small piece of ABS plastic for a custom drone frame, the finer 2mm tip worked without overheating the plastic, thanks to the machine's heat-resistant housing that stays comfortable to the touch even after 10 minutes of continuous use. That kind of quick tip change is a real time saver when you're in a garage with limited bench space. Now, let's talk about who should actually press the buy button. If you run a small auto body shop that does occasional spot weld repairs on car doors, frames, or bumper reinforcements, this unit checks most of the boxes. The portable design means you can wheel it to a job site, hook it up to a standard 120V outlet, and start welding within minutes. The LCD's smart control helps you avoid overwelding, which is a common cause of weak joints in thin sheet metal. For the serious DIYer who builds custom car parts, restores classic vehicles, or even fabricates metal and plastic combos for cosplay props, the ability to swap tips without needing a separate welder for each material is a genuine productivity boost. On the flip side, there are clear situations where you'd be better off skipping this machine. If you're a professional fabricator who needs to handle heavy-gauge steel, say 4mm or thicker, the 700W output will start to feel underpowered, leading to longer weld cycles and inconsistent penetration. Likewise, if your primary need is high-volume production welding, the machine's duty cycle, roughly 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off to cool, can become a bottleneck. For those scenarios, investing in a larger, mains-level spot welder with a higher duty cycle makes more sense. Finally, if you're looking for a set-and-forget benchtop tool that you'll never move, the portable case adds extra bulk you may never need. Practical strengths show up in everyday use. The heat-resistant construction isn't just a marketing phrase. After a marathon session of welding 12 2mm plastic clips for a prototype enclosure, the outer shell stayed cool enough to handle without gloves. The LCD's real-time timer prevented a near disaster where I almost held the weld on a thin aluminum panel for too long. The screen warned me at 0.8 seconds, and I pulled back before the metal warped. The interchangeable tips also saved me from buying separate welders for metal and plastic, consolidating my tool inventory. But the machine isn't without its trade-offs. The power cord is a standard 3-foot length, which can be restrictive if you're working in a cramped bay and the outlet is farther away. I found myself using a short extension cord, which is fine for occasional use but adds an extra snag point in a busy workshop. The LCD is bright enough for daylight, but in a dimly lit garage the backlight can be a bit harsh, making it hard to read the welding time without squinting. Also, the machine relies on a single-phase 120V input. Anyone with a 220V system will need a step-down transformer, adding cost and complexity. Value for money is where the rubber meets the road.